tonight showing a D.C. business owner allegedly berating an Uber delivery driver just for speaking Spanish. Now police are investigating it as a simple assault and hate crime.
Fox 5, Sierra Fox joins us live from Northwest tonight after speaking with the victim. Sierra, what did he tell you?
Well, Jim and Angie, right when you see this viral video, you can't help but wonder, is this really real? So many people say that they were trying to decipher whether it was serious or staged. Well, I spoke with the Uber food delivery driver who told me it's not a joke, so he filed a police report. He believes he was discriminated against because he's Latino. Take a look.
Learn English. Learn it. You get money in America. This isn't you getting money in America. Learn English.
This is the moment the owner of Canna Coffee on Florida Avenue in Northwest D.C. yells at an Uber food delivery driver, Gregorio Amundaray, because he doesn't speak English. The video is going viral on TikTok with more than 1 million views.
Porque fue lo primero que se me vino a la mente. Pensé que
Gregorio is telling Fox 5 his natural instinct was to start recording to protect himself because the situation was quickly escalating and it was very uncomfortable.
This ain't your country.
me hace sentir humillado, frustrado.
He says there was no need for him to be treated so disrespectfully. He moved to this country from Venezuela to get ahead in life and help his family. The intense interactions continues for an entire minute and ends with the owner shoving a bag of food at Gregorio's chest.
Learn English.
DC police are investigating this bizarre situation as a simple assault and hate crime. Fox 5 went to Canna Coffee to get their side of the story and were met with hostility. Hello, is the owner of the business here?
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We got to talk about this wild video of this DC restaurant owner who happens to be black going viral for telling a migrant to learn how to speak English. Okay. And this video has apparently resulted in this man's restaurant being shut down. Now, obviously, there's more to the story, okay? But the health department has now shut down this restaurant after this video went viral. So everybody is speculating whether or not this video had any influence over whether or not this restaurant was shut down. Because this guy, this restaurant, was investigated for hate and bigotry, right, against the migrant for telling this migrant to learn how to speak English. So I want to talk about it, but before we get into it, we have to have a word from the sponsor of this video, Noble Gold. Are you worried about the future of the U.S. economy? With so much uncertainty in the air, it is natural to fret about the security of your retirement savings. However, there's one asset that stands the test of time, and that is gold. For centuries, gold has been a hedge against market volatility and economic instability. With a gold IRA from Noble Gold Investments, you can harness the power of precious metals in order to secure your financial future. By rolling over your existing IRA or 401k into a self-directed gold IRA, you can enjoy the potential for long-term growth and stability. Diversify your portfolio with a tangible asset that has real value. Setting up a gold IRA with Noble Gold Investments has never been easier with its streamlined process and expert guidance. This election year, do not let the volatility and uncertainty keep you up at night. Vote for the timeless safety of gold and silver in 2024. And Noble Gold Investments will give you up to 10 1-ounce silver Trump coins or a 10-ounce silver American flag bar if you open a qualified account. Go to noblegoldinvestments.com now. That is noblegoldinvestments.com. And just remember, there's a risk with every investment and there's no guarantee of any kind.
The D.C. Health Department has temporarily shut down Canna Coffee in Adams Morgan. And this is the same restaurant at the center of a viral TikTok video capturing the owner's racist rant against an UberEats driver for speaking Spanish. 7 News' Christian Flores is joining me in studio now. Christian, is this closure because of that viral video?
It is not, Megan. We were told the health department's investigation started long before this video, but this is the latest development in what has been a troubling few months for the restaurant.
As customers flock in and out of various Adams Morgan businesses, one restaurant remained empty Thursday. The D.C. Department of Licensing and Consumer Protection and the D.C. Department of Health have temporarily shut down Canna Coffee, providing a statement saying, as a part of a multi-agency enforcement effort, D.C. government has been investigating Canna Coffee and has ordered that the business cease operations. We continue to work with law enforcement and community partners to protect the health and safety of all D.C. residents.
Shut them down. Shut them down.
This development comes less than 2 months after we interviewed Canna Coffee owner Greg Harris, who called for a Southeast liquor store to be closed for good after a triple shooting.
Being able to go and shop and get the things that you need without ensuring that you're going to be put in harm's way.
Now, it is D.C. agencies saying Harris's restaurant that's in violation. Officials issued 2 notices of infraction, once in May and again in August, both before Harris found himself in the spotlight earlier this week.
Learn English.
When he was caught on video getting in the face of an UberEats driver delivering this racist rant.
This ain't your country. Learn English. Learn English. This ain't your country.
This video now has more than 18 million views on TikTok.
Hey, learn English.
MPD is now investigating this as a possible hate crime, though no arrests have been made.
Okay, so here's the thing. Was what the dude said a nice thing to say? No, it was not nice. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's not a hate crime though, right? It's not a hate crime, right? It's just a very mean thing to say, okay? And we cannot live in a society where we're punishing people for saying mean things, okay? We can't do that, right? I mean, this is what freedom of speech is supposed to be about, right? This is what the First Amendment is supposed to protect. Although I don't necessarily agree with how he said it, right? I don't think that he should have said it the way that he said it, right? Although, okay, I will admit, in order for him to say it differently in a way for the migrant to understand, he would actually have to speak Spanish. And that is basically the whole point of this video. I think there's an important point here that needs to be highlighted about what you're saying, okay? Because the media doesn't want to talk about the implications of mass migration in this country and how that affects black businesses, black people. When you talk about economic opportunity, when you talk about resources, when you talk about all these things that black people say they care about, when you look at the mass migration issue, black people should be very concerned about what's happening. And that could be part of what we're seeing play out here in this interaction. Okay, so let's finish the video and then I'll go into more details.
It was my first time going to pick up an order at that restaurant. I felt, wow, terrible, humiliated, upset. I felt awful because I came to this country simply to work. I didn't come here to hurt anybody.
7 News has learned both Uber and DoorDash have removed Canna Coffee from their apps. So far, the business has not sent out any statement regarding a closure or viral video. Certainly tumultuous times ahead for this restaurant.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I'm not going to say that this restaurant did not have health violations, okay, because they were being investigated before the video came out. But the video definitely gave the city more reasons to act swiftly on whatever is going on with this restaurant, right? I'm pretty sure that's what's going on here, right? The video certainly didn't help. I can't say it's the cause, okay? But it certainly did not help, right? It did not help, okay? The city shut the restaurant down real quick after that video came out. They probably were on the way to doing so anyways, but this just gave them all the more reason to. At the very least, right? At the least, that's what's going on here. So here's the main point in this video that I really want to make, okay? When you look at black men and the jobs that black men primarily work, okay? The so-called black jobs, okay? Those are the jobs that migrants who come over here illegally or legally, okay? Which, you know, a lot of the legal migration really is just illegal migration disguised as legal migration, right? That is basically what it is, okay? But regardless, the jobs they're going to be competing for are going to be the jobs that disproportionately are represented by black men, in the sense that you have more black men working those jobs, okay, than other groups as a portion of the total population. And with that being the case, okay, they're going to be in direct competition, right? Black men and these migrants for jobs. So what happens is that the migrants come over, and in a lot of cases, they can work for less money than the black men. And it's not just a black man thing, but I'm just saying, like, you got to understand, this is really what's the problem, right? This is what's actually going on that they don't want to talk about. Like, this is the real deal. What's happening is that because you have more immigrants coming over here, now they are creating their own economy in the sense that they're working the jobs and they're making the money. They are spending the money. They're creating more businesses with the help of the government. Okay, the government is funding all of this, by the way, right? So it's basically a government subsidized economy that people who live in that government subsidized economy, the migrants plus black people plus white people plus the Latinos, the Hispanics that were already there, they have to now compete in that economy as well, which means that you're going to have more Spanish speakers. And language is extremely important in commerce and business, okay? So if you want to be able to conduct business, then you need to speak a common language, right? And when you have an economy that is now primarily Spanish speakers, okay, in the sense that they're working the jobs, they're also consuming as well too, so they're customers. As a business, you have to adapt, right? Which means that now, if you're black, okay, and you want a job or you want to start a business, you are going to be put at a disadvantage if you do not know Spanish, right? You got to know Spanish, okay? There are parts of this country where you legitimately need to know Spanish in order to get a job, okay? And I'm not talking about just the low-level jobs, right, or the low-income jobs. No. Like, for example, if you want to work in a bank, you're probably going to need to know Spanish. And parts of South Florida, Texas, California, you got to know Spanish, right? That is a reality that is now coming to a lot of America, okay? A lot of parts of America, that is what's happening, okay? That's what's happening. And that puts English speakers at a disadvantage, right? It puts English speakers at a disadvantage. You now need to learn Spanish. Now, they don't have to learn English. They don't have to, right? Because they'll work for whatever. So it doesn't matter, okay? They will do whatever, okay? And they will get by with body language, whatever. They don't have to. You have to learn Spanish, right? That's kind of how it is, okay? And that's what's happening, okay? So that's an issue. And this is why I really do believe that we have to have immigration policy that makes sense when it comes to things like making sure that we all retain a common language, like that we're all speaking the same language, okay? We all speaking English, okay? We should not be putting native English speakers at a disadvantage in exchange for cheap labor, okay? Because that's really what it's about. It's about cheap labor, right? But a consequence of that is that over time, right, again, you start to get these communities that basically become mainly Spanish-speaking communities in areas that, you know, black and brown people were at before. Population has grown exponentially, and now you have the natives, the people who were there before, now they're at an economic disadvantage, right? And that's what happens. And I think that's kind of what you're seeing play out in this video. Again, what the dude said was not something that I would have said. I don't think he should have said that. I think what he said was not appropriate, especially considering how you're a business owner, my guy. You might not want to say things like that on camera, right? I'm just saying. I mean, just basic PR. Basic PR, my guy. Just basic PR. Anyways, I'm not sure if the restaurant got shut down for that reason, but this definitely did not help at all, okay? But I definitely understand, again, the sentiment, right? I understand where he's coming from. I just don't think it was right for him to say it the way that he said it in that situation. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share. A Black conservative perspective. Peace.